Welcome back to my channel. My name is Blair if you're new here, and today we're going to do like the New Year reset. I am purpose waited to do this later because I wanted more time to think about the goals and the things like that I was setting and not just picking random stuff. So I'm going to start first by reflecting on last year. I did good on some, got to that point by the end of the year. Others, not so much, and I'm sure if you've been watching me, you know. But let's talk through these. First off, for health-related things, my goal is more fruits, veggies, and protein. I can't say that I actually did that. I definitely am more conscious of what I'm eating and trying to plan meals around it, but I wouldn't say that I was doing it. The second one was intentional workouts. It took me a while, but in August I downloaded the WalkFit app and now I'm pretty consistent. I've only skipped like 1 or 2 days since I started that. And I am going to carry it into this year because it's working for me. I like using it. I'm more apt to continue with my workouts. I just think it's worth it. Plus my chiropractor said it is helpful for my back. I'm just going to keep going with that, but at least I got consistent towards the end of the year. Posture was the other thing I wanted to work on. I did buy this weird brace thing for my back. It didn't fit. I never really kind of followed through with it. The next category was to grow my faith. I completed all 4 Bible studies that I had set a goal of. And then my goal for church was to do 2 on, 1 off. I did and I didn't. I got more consistent with it towards the end of the year, but not entirely. Hobbies and fun, which again, you'll know these categories changed this year. Read 10 books, which I did do. Didn't really get to have a game night, and I only had 1 dinner party. I guess you could say 2 if you count Friendsgiving. But I need to do better with that this year, like actually planning it, and if people can show up, great. If they can't, they can't. And then my other goal was to get dressed 1 day per week. I will say I kind of did that because church days I obviously got dressed. I wasn't lounging in my sweatpants going to church. I did get a little better with that. And then lastly, finances. You guys know I went through so many financial situations this year. And even halfway through the year, I kind of revamped these goals. Still didn't quite get where I needed to be because things just kept popping up. The floors, I do have almost paid off. I think I have like 2 payments left and I'm done. I never got to replenishing the long-term emergency fund or the short-term emergency funds. So hopefully this year that will happen beginning of the year, and I didn't buy any stocks. So financially, I would say I didn't do super great, but I'm trying to be more realistic about that this year because obviously I am taking a little bit of a pay cut with my job, which is fine with me. I'd rather have the lower pay and less stress. That's kind of a review of the 2025 goals. I'm going to move to my computer while we talk about the 2026 goals because those are digital, and then also I'm going to show you making a vision board, but I think those are the only things that'll be left in this video. So let's move to the desk. Oh, actually, let's go back real quick so a few things that I've like already done to kind of prep for this year. Oh, that I'm not going to quite include in the video. I did get my budget sheet set up. Obviously I had to alter it because I needed to add in the car payment going into this year. So the car payment has to be added in. I think that was the main change. And then I did do my net worth. Technically went down. I think that's because the interest on the federal student loans kicked back in even though payments haven't. So that kind of brought that balance up a little bit, which I think offset the mortgage difference. My net worth went up or went down about 8,000, which something still feels off. So I don't know if calculations are just off on this. I may have to play with it a little bit. Either way, I'm still in the green, which is nice, despite everything that went on this year. The goals this year I broke into 4 categories. I named faith, health, money, and life. So for faith, we're kind of going with last year a little bit. I'm going to still try to aim for the 2 on, 1 off days of church. So for me, that means going to church 2 Sundays in a row, and then I could have 1 Sunday where I stay home. I don't want to restrict myself to going every Sunday because I will fail. And some days you just need that slower morning and not to feel rushed to get out the door, just to rest. So I'm going to continue with that one this year. And then we have, I don't have it in here, but I have this devotion. I think it's called A Coffee Break with God, that I bought my mom actually as a gift last year for her birthday. And I bought myself a copy. So I want to work through that devotional this year. And then the last thing, which I'm adding in this year, I want to volunteer once a month. My goal is to do the food bank, and maybe a little tricky right now with my work schedule, so we're gonna see about that. But also, I know one of the shelters near me is allowing you to do, like, take a dog for a day. So I might actually potentially work that in as well. For January, I know I'm not physically volunteering, but I did do the birthday boxes for my birthday, and I did donate those to the food bank. We're gonna tick that off as if I did it. Going forward, I'd like to actually volunteer time. The next category that I have is gonna be health. I got older. There's things that are gonna start creeping in that need to be checked on and taken care of. So I do want to schedule like a physical checkup at some point here soon, probably in the next month, just to make sure I'm healthy. Also, consistency with the working out again. I'm going to continue with the WalkFit app until it no longer serves me, and then I'll try to find something else. But for now, that is working. I'm going to keep doing it for consistency purposes. For the nutrition aspect, I want to focus it down a little bit more specific. I know that protein is like very important for women, especially at my age, to make sure we're getting enough. And I know I don't eat enough protein. So we're gonna start working on this a little harder. My goal is to do 100 grams of protein per day. So I'm gonna break this down into a quarterly goal as we go. So like quarter one, I'm gonna aim to try to find some sort of consistency or options for me to do like 30 grams of protein for breakfast. And in second quarter, 30 grams of protein for lunch. And then same thing with dinner in the third quarter. And then the other 10 will probably come from my protein bars anyway, and collagen that I put in my coffee. But I want to focus down to the meals, so I'm being more specific to them. And as it becomes a pattern, like breakfast, okay, I already know what to eat every morning to make that happen. Then I can move on to lunch and then dinner and so on. And the last thing I want to do, I really want to complete the Couch to 5K app. I've had this downloaded for years. I'll start it, stop it. I never really get consistently through it. It is hard when they want you to do 3 runs a week, but I think it could be easier this year, especially because I have a little more flexibility with work and I'll be working an earlier shift, so I could potentially run in the afternoons or early mornings, we'll see. But I'd like to try and start that at some point this year. Money. So we're gonna finish paying off the floors. That should be done in February and out of the picture, but I did put it down as a goal. And then I wanna kind of hyper focus on 3 things: getting my short-term emergency fund, the long-term emergency fund replenished. I know this is not possible this year to get those done between sinking funds and paying bills because I don't have bonuses anymore. And obviously, you know, I bought a car, so I'm hoping to get like half of that paid off this year. So this may be tight. I don't know that I'm gonna be able to accomplish all these things, but I do know it's important that I get those emergency funds replenished so I'm not put in situations when something arises. And then I'd like to revisit that investing aspect. Yes, I have a 401k. Yes, I have a pension through my job. But I'd like to invest on the side into things that I enjoy. So like, I think I'm gonna aim to buy at least 1 stock this year, because that's doable, I would think, in a month to do that, and it wouldn't hurt me too much financially. So that's my money goals. And then the last one is gonna be life goals. So I'd like to have, I put 1 dinner party per quarter, but I might even change that to 1 get together per quarter, whether that's a game night, dinner party, whatever the situation is. I want to kind of refresh my skills with Final Cut Pro. Obviously, I went to school and I did learn how to use the software, but I have not really touched it since I graduated. I have found that there's some LinkedIn training courses that I've been working on with my job, just fill the time until training started. And so I've kind of like refreshed some of that in my mind. But I'm gonna focus on continuing through those courses through the end of the year, or not end of the year, end of the quarter, I think, and then we're gonna try to transition into using Final Cut for editing. So I might even do second quarter, like 1 video a week done in it until I get proficient, because I'm very proficient in iMovie, which is great. I can edit very quickly and have a video up in no time. But Final Cut may take me more time to edit initially until I get used to it. So instead of slowing down my process, I think it might be better to gradually implement that. I need to get a new external hard drive for Final Cut editing purposes, and that's, you know, one of those things that'll just happen. Same goals last year: 10 books, 5 faith-based, and then 5 either fiction or nonfiction. I've already ordered all my books for the year, so they're on their way from Amazon, and we'll go from there. And that's pretty much all of my goals for the year. Now I'm going to insert here on the screen, I already went through Pinterest as I was thinking of these goals, and started like locating photos of something to represent each goal. And I'm gonna save those, and then we're gonna work on building a vision board. Basically, I pull all those pictures from Pinterest and then I drag them into Canva, and I can lay them out the way I want them, and then I do printing of it. I don't like the background thing. I like my backgrounds a little more cleaner than that on my computer or my phone, but I will print it and then I hang it by my desk, because then I look at it every day, so it kind of reminds me of those goals as we go along. Well, I think that pretty much covers my reset. We reflected on last year's goals. We have, at this point, created new goals, made a vision board. I've set up myself financially in terms of budget sheets and everything on my own. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I return to work tomorrow. This was my last day off, but I've had some time to reflect and decide what was important to me this year when making those goals. So I hope you take time and don't just put down stuff because others are saying that's what you need to do. Find what you need to do and break it down. And I'm probably going to even revisit my goals throughout the year this year, because I'm going to break them down into hopefully quarterly segments so I can actually achieve those things, rather than, you know, just randomly picking 1 or 2 here and there to kind of handle each year or each month. I think it's just better to break those goals down a little further. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me, and I hope that everybody had a happy new year and that you're ready to take on this year on a very positive and productive mindset. As always, I hope everyone has a blessed day.